Hi guys! The other night during Monday Night Live chat, I was listening in while washing up some raspberries I had caught on sale. And I'm going to try to make a white chocolate raspberry jam. This just sounded really good. Now this is not an approved USDA recipe or a ball recipe, so I'm warning you ahead of time. This, I guess, would be considered a rebel canning recipe. So be warned, I'm going to put up my little disclaimer somewhere in here, letting y'all know that I'm not a professional canner. I do this as a hobby. I'm just sharing with you what I do. So there was two links I found for this recipe. One of them called to use liquid pectin, so I'll put a link to both of them. The other one called to use a box of powdered pectin. I'm going to do the powdered pectin because I have some pectin I need to use up before it goes bad. I have a tendency to find that when I open these ball classic pectins, and you can see I bought this in 2012, I just opened it for another recipe not too long ago, but if you let it sit over here, it tends to turn a grayish color, and I won't use it if it turns that gray color. So we're going to use up the last of that. We need 6 cups of sugar, 5 cups of raspberries, the pectin, and a cup of white chocolate chips. I have sprung for the Ghirardelli. And it also calls for a 1/4 cup of, one recipe calls for a hazelnut liqueur like Frangelico. The other one calls for like a coffee liqueur like Kahlua. I'm going to use Bailey's. If you don't want to put liquor in there, leave it out a minute. I think you could use any number of things like cream de cocoa. Even if you have some black Chambord, that would be good in it. Actually, that would really be good in it. Okay, wished I had some now. Anyway, I'll put links below to both of these recipes, so if you want to use powdered pectin, you'll have that recipe, and liquid pectin, you'll have the other one. So just use your discretion as to which liquor, if any, you want to put in there. So I'm going to start getting my berries crushed up. Since I'm doing the powdered pectin, it says heat the raspberries slowly. You want to crush them up, whether you use a potato masher or immersion blender. However you want to do it, run them through a food processor, however. I'm going to bring that up to a boil where I can't stir it down, and then I'm going to add the sugar and bring it up to a boil again and stir it for 1 minute. I've got my berries pretty well crushed up. The potato masher did a pretty good job of this. These raspberries are pretty delicate little berries anyway, so they tend to fall apart easier. So I don't know that I'm going to worry about bringing out the immersion blender to do this. I kind of like my jams and jellies a little chunky. So I'm happy with the consistency of this. So I'm going to start the heat on this now, and I'm going to slowly start adding my pectin in, and we'll be back in just a minute. I'm slowly adding my pectin in here, and I'm going to block your view either with one hand or the other while I'm stirring it in or trying to pour it in or sprinkle it in. I'm trying to make sure it gets distributed pretty evenly. I just poured it in a bowl because I wanted to measure out 6 tablespoons. It was a little over 6 tablespoons, so I'm just going to add it all and be done with that container. A lot of people ask about, I have old pectin, is it any good? One of the ways I tell is, like I said earlier, I believe I said earlier, if I open it and it's a grayish color, I'm not using it. This is a nice, I don't know if it would show on camera or not, it's kind of a beige color, and it looks fine, so I'm going to try it. If for whatever reason it doesn't work because it's too old, then you know what? I'm going to have white chocolate raspberry syrup. It'll do just fine for ice cream topping or cheesecake topping or any other kind of cake topping. That's mainly what I use jams like this for anyway. And I have a lot of people ask me, you make all these different type jams, and I don't know what I would ever use it for. Just for just for those reasons. I mean, think of this in between a layer of 2 chocolate cakes. Like I said, cheesecake toppings. I love cheesecake. My family loves cheesecake, and we love adding toppings to them like this. So this would be perfect for that. Angel food cake, pound cake. You could even make cookies with this. Dip them in there. Make thumbprint cookies with it. There's just a lot of things you can do with jams and jellies besides putting it on toast and biscuits, especially if you're into making exotic, more exotic type flavors than what you could buy in the grocery store like I like to make. So anyway, we're going to finish putting the pectin in there, and as we get this up to a boil, I'll bring you back so you can see what to look for. Alright, I'm hoping you can see. It's kind of hard with all the steam coming off of this, but it's up to a full rolling boil. I cannot stir that down. As soon as I quit stirring, it comes right back. So we are ready to add in our sugar now that it's been doing this. Make sure, yep. Okay, yeah, when I stir it, it's coming right back. So in the sugar goes 6 cups of sugar. Yes, this is an awful lot of sugar. Sorry for blocking the camera there. We're going to get this stirred in good. And get it all the sugar dissolved. Oh my gosh, it's thick. Thick, thick, thick. And once this comes back up to a full rolling boil again, we're going to start our timer for 1 minute. Then we're going to remove it and add the other ingredients. So that took a little bit, but now you can see I'm starting to have a rolling boil going in there, and I can't stir it down. When I stir it, comes right back. See? So we're going to start our timer for 1 minute, and then we're going to take this off the heat, and I'm going to move the camera around while we add the chocolate and the Bailey's that I'm going to add in. Just a point that while you do have that on the heat, throughout that 1 minute, even before the 1 minute, you want to stir constantly. Okay, we're adding in our chocolate chips, and this stuff is pretty hot. So it says to stir thoroughly until they're really melted. Unless you just want chunks of white chocolate in there, that's fine. I think I kind of want to incorporate it pretty good. And this stuff is so hot, it's nothing for this to melt right quick. And it's blending in really well. I hope y'all can see that. Okay. And it's already thickening up on me. Okay. That's pretty good. Stay. Alright, let's see if we've got a 1/4 cup of Bailey's here to add in. Bailey's is one of my favorite liqueurs to, oh yeah, easy. With a little extra for me, yay, left over. Alright. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you, once I added that in there, how wonderful that smells. And I'm sorry I bumped the camera again. Alright, oh, heavenly, heavenly, heavenly. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, alright. Now that I've got this all stirred and incorporated, I'm going to start hauling my jars in. I've got them outside my water bath counter sterilizing. Went ahead and brought in 2 jars. One of them's a little 4-ounce jar. I like to do little 4-ounce jars for gifts. Oh yeah, this is already setting up nicely. One recipe says this makes 6 half pints, and the other one said 10 pints, which I really think is a typo. We're going for, as with jams and jellies, 1/4-inch headspace. Actually, neither recipe says, but that's normal for jams, is to go with a 1/4-inch headspace, so that's what we're going with. So a little bit more in you. Come on. There's that jar. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how good this smells. What a wonderful Christmas present this will make. I need a little more in that one. I'm going to debubble this one. And I got to get something to wipe my rim off with. Didn't do that. Check and see. Yeah, it could probably take a smidge more. I know that one can. Yeah, gooey. Ah, yeah. don't dribble it on yourself. That's really, really hot. Be careful about dribbling hot jam on yourself, because yes, that really did burn. Okay. Wipe that off. And make a mess. I always make a mess. So anyway, there we go. We're getting some jarred up. I'll speed up the camera as I jar up the rest of this, so you can continue to watch me make a mess and hopefully no longer burn myself. Let's get the lids on these after we wiped them down. Ah, good. Well, one of those days that maybe I shouldn't be canning, but I'm already in the middle of it, so I've got to finish it. You wipe that. Okay. Finger tight on the lids. There we go. And off to the camera. Even though I've got a little bit left, more left to do, I'm going to show you this jar kind of close up. Camera's kind of in my way, and I'm wanting to finish this up. So, but this is what it looks like close up. You can't see any of the white chocolate in there, but you can certainly taste it, and the Baileys. So I'm going to finish up, and we'll bring you back when I have everything finished and in the canner. Got these in the canner. I'm going to turn the heat up on it now and get them up to a full rolling boil. Ended up getting 7.5 pints out of this, basically. Of course, you can see one of them is a wide mouth, and 2 of them are the little 4-ounce jars. A total of 7.5 pints. I did not get to finish filming the canning portion of this, where it came to a rolling boil, because as I was coming inside, I foolishly didn't cut my camera off so that the lens would retract. And it came off the tripod, landed on the lens, and now my camera is broken. So I'm finishing this with my phone, and until I can find out if I can get the camera fixed for a reasonable price, this will probably be the last video I do for a while, unless I do it with my phone, and I'm not going to try to do canning videos with my phone. Garden updates, yeah. Canning videos, no. Just too difficult. So, if they can't fix the camera, it's really not in my budget right now to buy another camera. I'll look on eBay or keep an eye out on Marketplace or something, but there's just really other things I would rather spend my money on than another camera. I think many of y'all can understand that this day and age, and with all the craziness going on with this quarantine virus and taking pay cuts and so on and so forth, I would just rather put the money towards stocking my pantry. And, you know, I hate to be that way, but I think many of you who watch me would completely understand. So anyway, fingers crossed, it can be fixed for $50 or less locally, and we'll see. Anyway, okay, enough on that. White chocolate raspberry jam. After tasting it, once it cooled down a little bit, I really couldn't taste as much of the Bailey's Irish cream. I would like that to be a little more prominent in it, but still, it smells heavenly. This tastes wonderful. It was setting great. This will be great as an ice cream topper, great as a cheesecake topper, great as a layer in between, you know, a white cake, a chocolate cake, probably even a lemon cake. You know, just use your imaginations with this. Thumbprint cookies with this in the middle. Yummy. Anyway, I hope you'll give this recipe a try. I will post it below. Remember, as I said, this is considered a Rebel canning recipe. It is not a USDA approved recipe or a Ball approved recipe. So, you know, proceed with caution if you do attempt it. This was processed for 10 minutes in a hot water bath, 1/4 inch headspace. Anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoy it. Give it a try. Thank you for watching, and happy canning.